What is up, Scentsy fans? It's Patricia and welcome to another week of Tester Tuesday. But this week we are shaking things up with the new releases for the fall and winter Scentsy catalog. So that is good news. Each week we're going to cover 3 scents and we're going to have 4 weeks to get through these. So it includes all 10 new release scents, plus I decided to throw in the 2 brick scents just to make it an even 12. So last week we had 460 votes, just 13 votes off the record. So thank you so much. I do want to do a little bit of housekeeping work with regards to Tester Tuesdays in general. I usually try to make sure I warm in at least 2 locations because things can change from one location to another. And I also try to use at least half a bar of wax just to get an overall feel for the scent. Now, I do want to say you should watch as many review videos as possible. Now, sometimes they don't occur until later in the season. So just keep in mind, this is just my interpretation of the scents, how I feel about them, how they perform for me. We all know performance may vary. So let's talk about our first place scent for the week. It is Velvet Moon. This is a beautiful, almost like a silver blue color wax. And this one had 29% of the vote, so this one came in first place. And on cold sniff, I would say it's light in intensity. It's a new release in the floral section. Scentsy says, soft vanilla flower and white musk glow behind a silky layer of foggy mist. So vanilla flower is kind of a creamy vanilla floral scent. I do get a little bit of that in here, but there's kind of layers to this scent. Let's talk about the white musk. There's a little bit of that too. Yes. And foggy mist, that one is just a question mark because what the heck does foggy mist smell like? I don't know. But work with me here. This is the scene that's come in my head. Hey, vanilla flower. Yeah? Bonfire Beach call? He said, put on a little white musk. He's going to bring some blue sugar. And you guys are going to go out. And you guys are going to be dancing under the velvet moon. Da, 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 da. So basically, I got a lot of layers when I warmed this scent. I could get more of the vanilla flower musk on cold. But when I warmed it, my brain kept going to like marshmallow fireside, bonfire beach, blue sugar. So I think there's a little bit of a female component. We're going to put that in quotations, and a little bit of male components, and they work really well together. So I think this is a great unisex scent. For me, it's very creamy, relaxing, warm, cozy. That's the feel that it gives me. So if you've not warmed blue sugar, it's a vendor wax type of scent. I'll just read you. It has top notes of citrus, mid notes of floral and patchouli, and bottom notes of vanilla, musk, and woods. So imagine all those different layers. This is a really, really beautiful scent. It's not overly floral when warmed. I wish we had a cozy category because that's where I'd put this. Anyway, on first sniffs, I really liked this. I found it light, but I just kept wanting to warm it. So speaking of warming, let's get into how it performed. So I took the top 2 cubes and put it here in my bedroom in a Meet in the Meadow 25-watt ceramic warmer. I had it going about 2 days, 18 hours. Now, the first day, the peak strength, I would say, was about 6 out of 10, maybe 6.5. It did just fine. Day 2, it was quite a bit lighter. I would say it started off on day 2, maybe about a 4 out of 10. So, and then it just kind of fizzled out. It was still there in the room, but very gently had to get closer to the warmer. But the first day I felt it performed quite well for me. Now I took the next 3 cubes and put it in my son Drew's room downstairs. He has a warmer in his bathroom and a warmer in his bedroom. And what I usually do, I don't know why, but I take these 3 cubes and I chop them. And so I put 1.5 in the etched core 25 and 1.5 in the succulent 12-watt element. So I had strength and throw there at max was about 7 to 7.5. So it does just fine. It's a surprisingly stronger scent than you think it's going to be. I had that around hour 7 or 8 that the intensity started to drop for me. And at the end of day 1, it was hard to smell. Now on the day 2, which happened to be this morning, I went in and I could smell it a bit better. So I left it going a few more hours and then I kind of took it out. I didn't kind of take it out, I did take it out. But I would say I had it going for 26 hours over a 2-day time frame. Now, if you're on the fence about this and you're like, what, are there any other scents that are like this? Well, I kind of mentioned how it smelled to me, But I want you to think of these scents as kind of in the same overall family or feel. Not that they smell the same, but they kind of give you the same end result. Coziness, happiness, gentleness. I have written down Bonfire Beach, maybe without the smokiness. Olaf without the mint. Pacific Sandalwood or 100 Acre Wood. Kind of those more gentle, but still there scents, pleasant, cozy, welcoming. So I think I would warm this all year round, but it does lean a little bit more towards fall and winter. I would say bedroom for me all the way. All the way bedroom for me. It's very cozy, and I don't think I would warm it elsewhere. I don't think it would be quite strong enough in my home. And like I said, a layered, relaxing, cozy kind of scent. Something that you would almost smell in a fancy hotel. Not overwhelming, just something that you want to just keep smelling. So will this be a repurchase for me? Yes. And I highly suggest you pick it up and give it a try so you can see what you think of it for yourself. So that is Velvet Moon. So let's talk about our second place scent for the week. It is Frosted Vanilla. This is a new release as well, and this is in the fresh category. It's more of a baby blue color wax. Came close to being in first place with 26% of the vote, and I would say it's between medium and strong on cold sniff. Now let's read the scent description. Scentsy says, a wonderland of sweet vanilla bean and birch bark with a rush of frosty air. All right, so this is a vanilla scent. To me, there are warm vanilla scents and cool vanilla scents. Now, this is more of a cool vanilla scent. So an example of a warm vanilla scent is like a bakery vanilla. It's like cozy. This is a little bit more pure and white and crisp type of vanilla. Sweet. It's sweet. Then we also have frosty air. So they imply that it's going to be a cool, I guess fall winter scent with the scent like frosty air. So yes, I can see that. And sometimes that implies some sort of mint. We'll get back to that. Birch bark. I kind of know what a birch tree smells like, and I roughly know what a birch bark smells like, but I wanted to look it up just so I could tell you guys if there was anything else. And I have written down for myself that it's kind of a clean, crisp, pure style scent, but some sources say that certain birch varieties smell like a wintergreen. So I was like, funny you say that, Scentsy, because when I did my cold sniffs, I thought I smelled wintergreen in this. Now, wintergreen is a form of mint. It's actually my least favorite mint. I like peppermint. I like spearmint. I do not like wintergreen. Now, think back. Which other scent has wintergreen? Vanilla mint. I love vanilla mint. Vanilla mint has wintergreen frost. I think it has, what does it have? I wrote it down. Wintergreen frost sparkles over vanilla and frozen citrus. So some people think this is a replacement for vanilla mint. I'm here to say no, not my eyes. Maybe liniment, not vanilla mint, because this is very medicinal to me. I get a medicinal note to this with the wintergreen. And maybe it is something like a camphor or a mentholatum or a eucalyptus. I don't know. Even if you just used a tiny bit of those things with the wintergreen, that would very much be a little bit on the overwhelming side of things. So that is what I'm picking up with this scent. Normally, I love vanilla-based scents. This one, it is not for me. But I'm going to tell you how it performs so that you can get an idea. And I must say there are quite a few people loving this, and also I've heard of people not loving this. So this might be one that you have to ask for a sample or try for yourself. All right, so I put 2 cubes in my daughter's room. Strength and throw was at least 8 to 8.5 at its peak. The first time I warmed it for 36 hours. At the end of that 36-hour time frame, it was roughly about 3 out of 10. One night, I decided to turn it on, just kind of let it go overnight. And when I walked in the next day, I could smell it again. I'm like, So I would say I added another 12 hours into the mix. Now, I must say, there's a special little twist to this scent, and I'll talk about it more when I talk about Drew's room. So I left it go in Erica's room quite a long time, 4 days, 48 hours, start and stop, start and stop. So I decided to take the middle 2 cubes, warmed it in Drew's room, just kind of like I did with the Velvet Moon. Now, this one I didn't leave going as long. Now there's only 1.5 cubes in each of 2 warmers, but I left it going about 30 hours over 2 days. I'm going to tell you the first 7 or 8 hours of that warming, because I hung out in his room quite a bit. I made myself do it. It was very tough for me to get through. It's very medicinal. My nose just didn't really care for it, but it took about 7 or 8 hours, and then that kind of went away. Thank goodness. And then you were left with a really pretty, almost like a musky vanilla, which was very nice. Do I want to get through that first 7 or 8 hours to get to the pretty part? Probably not. So for me, this is a scent that I would put in if my family was home and I wasn't, and then I was going to be home later. So I would go to work and let them enjoy the original part at the beginning, and then I would enjoy the part that I like. But I don't really know if there's any other scent that is like this. To me, it's kind of a unique scent, but not really in a good way. And it is definitely not like vanilla mint in my opinion at all. I would definitely stick to winter for this, but some people are probably going to warm it all year round, depending if they're a seasonal melter or not. So you do what you want to do. I think this would probably do okay in most areas. That first initial boom is going to do well in an open concept, but then it is going to taper down. So you probably only get about a day in an open layout out of this one if it's like my open layout. And would I be repurchasing Frosted Vanilla? Frosted Vanilla, not for me, but I'm glad I definitely got to try it. So let's talk about our third place scent for the week. It is Huckleberry Hideaway. This one had 16% of the vote, and it's a plum or violet colored wax, about a medium on cold sniff intensity, and Scentsy has put this in the woods category, but I would argue it could easily go in the fruity. So the scent description says, fresh picked huckleberry, mountain violet, and crisp white woods create the perfect retreat. So I would definitely say this is fruity dominant. It's huckleberry. Now I've never tried huckleberry myself, but to me it reminds me of a blueberry, and I would say a dark or red grape smushed together. Mountain violet I would assume is a little bit more rustic, but violet in my brain reads earthy anyway, so those two things would tie together, an earthy floral. And it talks about crisp white woods. Now, in my brain, white woods is kind of like a gentle woodsy scent. I see it a lot in some scents that lean a little bit perfumey or a little bit cologne-y. So I looked up white woods. I got a couple different results, but one spot said it was a citrus, eucalyptus, cedar, patchouli, amber blend. That was a fragrance oil of white woods. And another source described it as bergamot, mandarin, vanilla orchid, praline, musk, and a dash of dark pepper. I saw that a couple spots. But anyway, we would definitely say that depending on what white woods is mixed with, it can lead a little bit perfumey, like in plum and white woods, or it can lead a little bit masculine. Now, I would say this is kind of in the middle, because sometimes it feels perfumey, and sometimes it feels a little bit masculine musk. So let's talk about performance. Before we get into that, I will definitely say that this was an average cold sniff impression for me. I didn't love it, I didn't hate it. It was just kind of in the middle. And that's kind of where it left for me after I warmed it. So I started off warming 3 cubes in my TV bonus room. It's the room above the garage. There's 2 warmers there. I've got a 40-watt Vino, which is an Edison bulb warmer, and a 25-watt beacon warmer. So I put 1.5 cubes in each. Usually sometimes I put a little bit more in the Vino. Strength and throw there was between 6 and 7 out of 10. But the throw seemed a little bit more because it was actually spreading out of the door. I could smell it as I was coming up the stairs one time. Now, I left it going there 2 days, approximately 18 hours, and then I couldn't really smell it anymore. The end of the first day, I would say it was about 3 out of 10, but I did try again the next day. Once I took the wax out, I must say I smelled the wax. It still smelled really, really strong, especially at the bottom. The fragrance oils usually settle a little bit. So I thought, So I transplanted that wax to Drew's room later today, and I got more out of it. I got almost a full day and probably a good solid 5 out of 10 down there. His room throws most scents very well. So that's why I thought, I bet you I kind of, ripped this scent off a little bit. It had a little bit more juice left in it, so I decided to kind of finish it off. Now, as it warms, it kind of went in stages. At first, it's really, really fruity. And after a few hours, I would say maybe 3 or 4, I could smell the earthy mountain violet. And I didn't really like that part. But then it kind of turned into almost like more of a fruity musk, like a deep berry musk. So I decided to take 2 cubes and put in my daughter's room. She loves fruity scents. So it was a little bit stronger in her room. I would say 7 out of 10. And we're actually still warming it there right now. We're on day 2. The first day, I found it was a little bit more airy in her room. Airy and perfumey. And I didn't get that mountain violet note really much at all. Mind you, I don't go in her room as much. But today, when you walk in, it's roughly about, I would say 3 out of 10. I'll take it out soon. And it's just like a gentle, musky berry scent. It's nice. It's just not my kind of thing. But I think if you like those kind of scents, you'll probably like this. Even scents like black raspberry vanilla, which doesn't have a musk. Dancing sugar plums, which has a little bit of spice. I'm thinking of all the purple scents. What else? Huckleberry and clementine. This one is a little bit more fall winter, and I like this one better than Huckleberry Clementine, but it's not as strong and it's not as long lasting in my opinion. So this obviously leans a little bit more fall winter, and I would say transition time, maybe like August, September, October would be really good times to warm this. I would say TV rooms or medium areas, entranceways would be nice. Might be a little bit too musky, fruity for a bedroom, but you do you. It did seem to fade a little bit on the fast side of things, but I think that depends on the heat of the room, the time of the year. I think we'll get better performance as we head into fall with this scent. Will I be repurchasing Huckleberry Hideaway? I actually have one more, and that's probably plenty for me. This is not a type of scent that I gravitate or crave, but I really did enjoy it. It was a good average scent for me. So Huckleberry Hideaway. Not a home run, but maybe a first or second base kind of scent. All right, let's move to the portion of the video where I'm going to give you guys some voting options for scents, and you guys are going to just pick 2 scents just like you normally do and put them down in the YouTube comment section. And if you can't vote on YouTube, find my Instagram post and put your 2 votes there. Now keep in mind, the only difference is I'm actually going to cover 3 scents next week so we can get through things a little faster. So I have a bag here, and guess what? There's 6 scents in this bag, so I'll be drawing all 6. Then the rejects will make it into the bag next week, and we'll see what we get. So scent number 1 is actually a brick scent that is new to the catalog. Vanilla Cinnamon Maple. Scent number 2, Sips of Cider. Scent number 3, Perfect Day. Scent number 4, White, Amber, and Silk. Scent number 5, Crayon Apple Crumble. And scent number 6, Falling Apples. So thanks for spending the last few minutes with me. I can't wait to see what you guys vote for this week. Take care, and I will see you in the next video.